Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the respected dignitaries of IIU, trainers, and distinguished participants from all around the globe for the batch 6 of the Mentor Development Program by International Internship University. Now, I would like to give you a brief introduction about IIU. International Internship University IIU is leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. IIU is committed to providing highest quality education to all the learners of the globe, regardless of social or economic background. IIU is providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses and internship to their e-learners across the globe with the help of its committed, experienced, and high caliber global educators. In a short of time, IIU has spread the wings in 195 countries and 6 continents, and under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, a committed and inspiring social activist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. Now, I would like to introduce about the Piyush Pandit sir work. Piyush Pandit sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. Piyush Pandit sir has published the World Education Policy, One Education, One Foundation, One World. IIU has taken the initiative to reach the every learner in rural as well as urban areas through the Vidyanchal project, an initiative by the Ministry of Education, by Government of India, to provide higher education as well as vocational training along the internship opportunities. IIU is the revolution in education. A mentor is a person who guides by building trust and modeling positive behaviors. An effective mentor understands that his or her role is to be dependable, engaged, authentic, and turn into the needs of the mentee. Mentor is someone who allows exploring the hope inside the individual. In the year 2022, IIU have successfully completed 5 batches of this unique certificate program of mentor with 1,000 certified mentors by IIU. Let's begin the session to be a mentor, a role model, and to set an example with our trainer for the day 1 of the batch 6, Dr. Siham El Kafafi from New Zealand. Welcome, Siham ma'am. Before beginning this session, I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Siham. Professor Dr. Siham El Kafafi has a wide industry and consultancy experience in the medical, manufacturing, and service industry, besides being an academic for the past 25 years. She is a passionate educationist and thought leader who helped graduate over 10,000 students over her career. Her teaching experience plays a leadership role in the creation of high-quality students' experience in a wide range of management and adult education courses. Moreover, Professor Dr. E. Kafafi held various academic positions as head of academic faculty, business, finance, and English, director of research, senior lecturer, and guest lecturer in various universities and tertiary institutes of overseas and in New Zealand. Professor El Kafafi holds a PhD from the University of Waikato, New Zealand, a master's in adult literacy and numeracy education from Auckland University of Technology, a master's of public administrations from the American University in Cairo, and bachelor's of art in English literature with honors from N. Shams University, Cairo, Egypt. Professor Dr. El Kafafi is a public and motivational speaker who is invited a keynote speaker in conferences and national and international events. She has over 100 publications in referred journal articles, books, chapters, and conference proceedings, besides being on the editorial boards of various national and international journals. She is a member of international educational boards and committees and on board of examiners and award committees. Professor, it's our privilege to have you in this wonderful platform. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. for your introduction. I am humbled to be here with you today. Happy New Year to everybody. It's a wonderful way to start 2023. God bless you all. God bless IIU, Mr. Bayush, Dr. Snigda, Dr. Inga, all the participants who are now with us and who will be joining us. This is my third participation in the mentoring development program. I participated in 2 batches last year, and it's wonderful to be invited to participate in this batch this year. I would like to share with you, please, my screen, and hopefully that you can see it clearly. So, as you all know, as mentioned, I come from New Zealand, and New Zealand is 2 islands. We are having actually terrible weather. We're supposed to be in summer right now, but we're having rain. Yesterday, everything was stopped and blocked. We even had a concert for Elton John that was canceled, and the train canceled. So you can imagine, some people, their homes are drowning from the weather. So God bless everybody, and we hope everybody is safe. I live in the North Island of New Zealand, as you can see there, and in Auckland, which is in the north part of the North Island. It is the biggest city here in New Zealand due to the biggest number of population. All of New Zealand, by the way, is 4.5 million. So today, it's my privilege to be talking to you about mentoring, the art of mentoring, as I call it. So in the icebreaker, as we all know, most of us are educators at some way or the other. I would like to start with an icebreaker in order to also get to know some of the people, and some of the people will mingle and know each other. So before we start, I would like please to have a little bit of housekeeping. So I would like you to have beside you a paper and pen in order to take notes if you need, or bounce few ideas, because there will be few activities that you will need to take and jot notes about it. The other thing also, I am sure that you have your smartphones beside you. Keep also the smartphones ready with the camera. So in case you would like to take a snapshot of any of the slides, especially the ones that has got activities, because some of the activities you will need to do it and reflect on it after the session due to our time limitations. So the first thing that we're going to be doing today is that I would like you to please look around you and grab something that is of meaning, symbolizes a certain value in your lifestyle. You can search in your purse. If you're in an office, you can search in your wallet, your briefcase, your pockets, or if you are at home, around you. And please, I would like you to bring this item. And before we speak, if you can kindly raise your hand, and then afterwards unmute yourself and start speaking one by one. So an example of what you can bring is a photograph, a piece of jewelry, a membership card, something that signifies and symbolizes something of value and importance in your life. And then we are going to start now. I'll stop sharing the screen so that I would see your beautiful faces. So who would like to start, please? We have 35 participants, right? So who is going to start?
Yes, I think start.
Yes, please. Dr. Inga, you want to start?
Yes, I think start. I don't know. Join. I think join.
You can start. Have you
No,
found
no,
something
no.
that?
No, I know. You start there. I recording on.
Okay.
You can
Guys,
ask them one by one, I feel. Nobody will
This
speak
is,
else.
yeah, this is a training session, and training here means that you also participate. As adults, you cannot learn if you are not active, collaborating, and participating, right? So who is going to share with us an item and tell
I'll
us?
start.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Here is a picture.
Okay,
He is my spiritual mentor.
yes,
I was very short-tempered and alcoholic,
yes,
chain smoker.
wow,
This is almost 35 years of before.
okay,
Today I am purely non-alcoholic, purely vegetarian, and purely non-smoker. This is the divine blessings of my spiritual mentor. He is one of the 6 president of an organization called baps.org. Anybody can surf it. This particular sect or a particular organization has 1,200 temples across the globe. Even we have in Auckland and almost 3 to 4 temples in New Zealand country. Even we have the landmark temple at London, which was on the river side of the medallion of the Olympics 2020. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. God bless you. Anybody else, please? Somebody else would like to share? Would you like me to start calling names? Okay. How about Irina?
Marina, yes, Marina Takadadze. Marina
Yes.
Turashvili, please.
Hello, I'm from Georgia, Marina Turashvili, and it's about a symbol. I think red pen is a symbol of me somehow, because all time I'm holding a red pen at school and after school too. Even in spite of I have an online lesson, I still hold it because it's a part of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you for sharing. Who else, please? Thank you, Marina. There is actually also an Irina. I can see the name there on the screen. Okay, what about Marika? What about Priya? Varsha? Wow. Mariam? Pooja? Dali? Nino? Very interesting. Okay. Well, I tried. Let's go back and share the screen. Okay. So let us look at what we are going to be covering today. So the objective of today's training session is actually to discuss with you and provide you an introduction about that program and what does it mean and what's the importance and the values to become a successful mentor. So in order to be able to be a successful mentor, you need to develop your communication skills in order to be benefiting, because being a mentor is actually requiring interaction interaction between you and your mentee. So you need to enhance your communication skills. So we are going to be talking about that in order to help you during your development journey. So what we're going to be discussing briefly today, I'm going to provide you with a historical background about mentoring. Where did this term come from? What's the background of it? And what does it mean? What are the benefits of having a mentoring program? If you want to set up one, for example, at your organization, what are the different types of mentoring and what are the different relationships within mentoring? What does the process that you go through in mentoring? And you need to find out the different strategies to be able to manage it and how to set up that program. And there's also an activity about setting your mentoring program and how to write the objective, which is the main starting point in setting up your mentoring program. And also, then we are going to go deeper into finding you as a mentor. What are your characteristics? What are the good qualities of both a mentor and a mentee? The different responsibilities, and then we'll wrap up with a reflective activity. So if we're going to look at here historically, usually when you come to any field, you need to understand where did it come from, what does the terminology mean, what does it stand for. So if we're going to look at that concept, it actually goes back as a character from Homer's Odyssey. Look how back it goes. So in the ancient Greek epic poem, dating back around to the 13,000, Odysseus trusted his young boy, his young son, to Telemachus, in order to take for him as a mentor, because he was actually going for the Trojan Wars. And then what happened is that he stayed in those wars for decades. And all this time, the mentor was taking care of his son and was supporting the boy. So that is where it originated. Then after that, in the 1970s, you'll find out that in organizations and businesses, they started recognizing the importance of having a mentor in order to help develop their executives and also their employees. And after that onwards, from the 1970s, there has been an increase in the demand for having a mentor in the workplace, because they found out its benefits and how they can help in the development and the progress of all their staff members. So there are lots and lots of different definitions of mentoring. And these are few of them that I chose them for you to see how in different disciplines and different people actually define the term. So they say mentoring is an alliance that creates a space for dialogue that results in reflection, action, and learning. Mentoring is developing insight to turn the insight into a foresight. And another definition, mentoring is a synergistic relationship between two or more people. They are engaged in a process that achieves more than each person can do all by themselves. Mentoring is a partnership between a less experienced mentee and a more experienced mentor who uses their professional and life experience to help the mentee develop and advance in their career and their future prospects. So if we're going to look at it also, it's all to do, if we look at all those definitions, it's to do with interaction. It's to do with communication, either with two people, the mentor, the mentee, or a group of people, one mentor and several mentees. In this interaction, there is actually a transfer of knowledge between somebody who has got a lot of experience and skills, transferring it to somebody else who have got less experience in order to benefit from it. So in the workplace, someone is established in their career would be giving their knowledge and their experience to somebody who's less experienced. Also in the academic world, which we are living in institutions, it is to do with also education, preparing our future students in order to become doing well in their careers. So when they are graduating, what we are making them work ready for their future employment. So these terms keeps on being interchangeably used. You hear it a lot. This person is a trainer, that's a coach, that's a mentor. You would be wondering, they are overlapping and interchangeably being used. What is the difference between them? If we're going to look at a trainer, the trainer asks direct questions and provides information and seeks a specific answers. They are always structured. The process is structured and it is based also on past experience. So the trainer is passing their past experience. If we are going to look at the coach asks open questions and also enables self-discovery. So as from the name, from the title, trying to help the person to discover themselves, discover their needs, their requirements, reflect on their feelings, on their thoughts, on their beliefs, and how can they apply them in different situations. So it is preparing them for future actions. If we're going to look at the mentor, which is our main goal here in this session, it actually answers direct questions, and it also provides information sources. So you as a mentor, we will discuss that, you are going to help your mentee by directing them to enable them to find resources and networking also to help them with their career. It also seeks alternative answers for the different situations, and it's also structured, especially when we go through the different types and the formal type. It is very structured, and also it is based on past experience. So what are the benefits? Why are you here today? What do you think you are going to gain from it? When everybody embarks on a new adventure or a new journey or a new learning program, every person would say, what's in it for me? What am I going to benefit from it? So a formal mentorship programs allow both the mentor and the mentee to develop a relationship. A relationship, if it works smoothly, it will be win-win situation for both parties. Also, a mentoring program benefits the mentee-mentor relationship by helping the organization. If they're working towards their development and they are working in the organization, it helps the culture within the organization to be focused and centered around learning, collaborating, sharing with each other, and all of them heading in the same direction in a shared vision to achieve the required outcome for themselves and the biggest goal for the organization. Also, a mentorship program can diminish the isolation. As we all know that in some organizations, there are silos and there are people who are cliquey groups. When you're having these programs, it actually minimizes from isolation and exclusivity, and it helps people to get more engaged, work with each other, and develop their skills, because we learn, all of us learn from each other. Also, it encourages people to connect either on personal level or also as groups and build relationships that would help them to motivate them for their future goals. They become more professional. They strengthen their skills as professionals, especially in management and leadership positions also. If we are going to look at it from an educational point of view, it is going to help the students in the college to work with each other and to prepare themselves for their graduation and for the future work. Also, it helps professional association in their development and networking in different various industries. So as you can see, there is a lot of benefits to develop a mentoring program within your organization, whatever your organization is. So what are the different types of mentoring? There is the traditional one-on-one mentoring, which is everybody does, is that there is a mentor, there is a mentee, and you need to match them together. As we all say, you need to have chemistry. Lots of people, I bet, who are with us today, they may have had their PhD, they are maybe studying for their PhD. And when you were choosing your supervisor, for example, for the PhD, you need to be matching both of you, whether in your values, how you think about things, because you are going to work with each other for a few years. If you don't match, it's not going to be a successful trip and journey for you. So also in this mentor-mentee relationship, there should be matching. They should be able to have chemistry. They should be able to work, to participate, to build a solid relationship in order to establish a good mentoring program. There is the distance mentoring, and as you can see, from distance, which means it can be virtual. It's not face-to-face. The person can be in a different city or even in a different country. There's the group mentoring, which is a single mentor and would have a cohort of mentees. And the structure here, of course, will be different, but it needs a discipline, and it needs a framework, and it needs regular communication and activities. So there are also different types of relationships that happens within mentoring. So it depends also, is it going to be formal or informal? So when we say a formal mentoring relationship, that means there will have to be a written agreement. And in this written agreement, it will detail when the meetings are going to happen, how long the meetings are going to be, how frequent they are, if it's going to be weekly, if it's going to be monthly, if it's going to be daily. It depends on what is it, what is the topic, and what is the objective. And we're going to come to that when you start talking about how to develop your own program. There is also the informal relationship, which is you match to a mentor and a mentee, and they agree that they don't want it to be formal. In other words, they don't want it to be written, but I suggest also that they have to have some framework, because if you do not have this framework and you don't agree and you're not clear about it from the beginning, that can create issues and challenges and problems down the line. There is the virtual one, which is a distance one, and this one can include emails, chats, phone calls, other interaction that is non-physical. And again, it depends on the agreement when you set it at the beginning. There's the face-to-face. Both of you are located in the same place, so, or you make the effort, you have a weekly meeting and you meet there face-to-face. And there is also the peer-to-peer, and this one when you are having this at work, at your workplace, and you decide that one of your peers who are more advanced or have been longer in this organization and knows more, and you want their support, their mentoring, their help. And also it can be either formal or informal. Is there any questions so far? Okay, so I would like you please, I can see that the group of today, I'm not sure if some people joined us who are willing to talk. I want you to reflect and think from all the different types that I have mentioned to you, which type of mentoring you have encountered before, and what was your experience? So you have been listening to all those different types of mentoring that I mentioned. I would like to hear from any of you, please. If you have encountered any of them, whether you were on any side, you were the mentor or you were the mentee, and please share what was your experience. Yes, please.
I was a mentee.
Okay.
And not only me, but there were almost maybe more than 1 million mentees with a single mentor.
So you are talking about the group one. That
Yes.
is the experience you had. Okay.
Yes.
So can you please share with us what was your experience?
So it was one to many.
Yeah.
One to many, mentor to mentee. But experience was like, he was, it was a learning sort of from this mentor, that apart from supposedly I'm in India and he's in London or he's in US.
So that is very unique, and that is very good that you're mentioning it. So the good thing is that we need to also look at real life. So this is two types in one. So yours was virtual and also a group one. Very good, excellent example.
So group one and virtual one, but it was heart-to-heart relation. So this was an awesome learning. There are mentors who will teach you not heart to heart, but mind to mind, right?
Yes.
This mentor was teaching us heart to heart.
Yeah.
And we were very much trustworthy to this mentor. And this we call a divine wish.
Yes.
So whatever the divine wish he mentions, and we used to follow that wish. So today, I am able to mentor my own, group of people or my own nears and dears because of that strategy. Because there are people who, formally know you casually.
Yes. Yes.
But this was heart-to-heart relation. And this is very difficult part what I'm looking at. But see, that mentor used to give me the learning, but today I'm experienced. I cannot be a mentor of that quality what he has, and I'm unable to inculcate those situations for my own mentees. So it is a versatile experience with this mentor. Thank you so much.
We you. And I would be interested to hear after you finish this program that we would be able to change your mind and make you have more confidence and believe in yourself that you can be a good mentor. So we will wait until the end of this program, and I'm sure that you are capable, and if there is a will, there is a way. Thank you for sharing. God bless you.
Positively. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There is another hand up, please. Somebody would like to share, right? I can see Ibu Kunulua, right? I hope I'm saying it correctly. I can see the hands up. So if you would like to share, please go ahead. You're muted.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much, Ma. I think I really benefited from this mentoring program. I just want to share about my last experience. It was actually peer-to-peer mentoring, where so it happened during my PGD program. I was having a challenge with one of our courses then, because I am not too good about calculations. So I had to clinch to one of my classmates who put me through, who mentored me all through the program. And I want to say that it's a very good one for individuals to have mentors. You don't know something and you want to know it. You've seen someone who knows it already. There's no big deal in wanting to know, bringing yourself down, meekness, just to know from the other person. But I want to ask a question, because there are some people you want them to mentor you. You've known
Yes.
them, you've been following them, and you want them to mentor you on a certain level. Because I'm into consulting business. I consult for
Yeah.
schools which their owners are not in the country, because I'm a Nigerian. Most of them are outside the country, and they want people to run their schools for them. Basically, that's what I do. So as a consultant, I look forward to, meeting other consultants who have gone ahead of me to learn from them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I thank you for opening up and sharing. We were just scratching the surface. When we go through, please, that's why I said everybody have your paper and pen. There are a few important things that you need to know, and you need, if you're a consultant and you want to set it up, there are certain reflections on your actions, and you need to identify the actually characteristics of both the mentor and the mentee, which I will be discussing with you in a minute. Also, you need to be open, you need to be honest, and always creative in your approaches. The key thing is to have a process, to be prepared, and to write a clear objective from the start. Thank you again. There's another person called iPhone. Their hands are up. So that person would like to share? Yes? Yeah, you please unmute yourself. You are muted. We can't hear you.
Welcome. My voice is heard.
Excellent. Welcome.
I am
We can hear you
Maka.
now.
I am Maka. Hello. I am Maka Tolordava in Georgia, from Georgia.
Excellent. Welcome.
It's nice to meet you. I liked your explanation about mentor. I maintain program really reduce isolation. We have a mentor teacher at school. School is in Georgia, Akhalabastumani Public School. Thanks for such an interesting meeting.
Well, thank you very much. God bless you. Okay, let us continue, because I'm just conscious about the time, and there's lots of things that I would like to actually share with you guys. Okay, so where did we stop? Yeah, we stopped here. Okay, so let us look at, I'm so grateful that how you are sharing, your opening up, and you're talking about your experiences. When you are stepping into a new role, or in a role that maybe you are somewhat hesitant about, you need also to understand and look at what are the characteristics, okay? What are the requirements? So you need to look at the partnership. It is about partnership between the mentor and the mentee. So that needs actually to be arranged, to be organized. Remember, I told you at the beginning, you need to have chemistry to gel with each other, to be able to work with each other, even though if it's temporary, because it's for a limited time, even that limited time can be of value. Ask yourself, you've met some people in your life, and few only of them who left a mark, who you remember. And these people, your relationship maybe was very short with them. And this is what differentiates somebody from the other. So if you really want to benefit, especially, we are in this global world and everybody is busy and everybody is having several hats and everybody is trying to make their living or try to leave their mark. So time is an important resource, and it's a very valuable and expensive resource that we cannot just deplete it. So we need to be careful from the beginning and look at a really workable, supportive relationship for that program. So there is also, you need to look at the structure and the steps. I believe that every single thing we go through goes through a process. And the process means it has got steps. And when you go through the steps, they have to be followed in that exact order so that you don't waste anybody's time and not your time too. So if you go through those steps in the order and follow them, then you will reach the outcome, the result that you know. I'm sure that most of you are well aware of the systems theory, which is input, process, output. So you prepare all your inputs and you go through this process step by step in order to reach the output that you are aspiring for. So for us here, there is a 4-step structure, which is the beginning, the middle, and then the final, the ending of that process, okay? That you are doing, that mentoring. So anything in life starts with planning. I'm sure that all of you know the well-known saying, planning, if you don't plan, you fail. And then if you don't plan, you are actually planning for failure, right? So start with planning for your mentoring by finding your mentor first, okay? And then you have the initiative phase where both the mentor and the mentee meet and start building the relationship and developing it and writing their agreement, whether it's formal in writing or verbal, whatever they agree on. Then there is the mid phase, which is the meeting. And this is the actual actions when you are developing your goals and you are continuing and doing all the effort and doing all the work in order to succeed. And then there is the ending of this relationship where you are, there is the closure, there is the evaluation, how successful have you reached your outcome. So these phases best occur usually between 6 and 12 months period. 6 and 12 months of your life. So you have to be prepared and careful. So the amount of time for each phase will vary. It depends on your needs. It depends on what is the objective, what is your personal style versus your mentor's personal style. Both of you need to agree on it. And throughout the mid phase, the meetings, the making your progress, the analysis, all this, you need to check it regularly to guarantee you reach your outcome. So there are different strategies that you can look at to choose a compatible mentor is actually very critical to your success of that relationship. See how many times I repeated? I think this is the 3rd or 4th time. Choosing the mentor is very critical. So the choice should include someone with 3 important components. Number 1, desire that person wants to be your mentor? Time. They can tell you, yes, yes, I want. Time is important. How are you going to meet? And then the third component in that triangle is the expertise. You want somebody to have the expertise in that specific thing that you want them to mentor you in, right? You cannot get somebody, you want somebody in engineering and you go and get a dance choreographer, for example. That's not going to work. You're not going to reach your outcome. No, it doesn't. So these three things are important: the desire, the time, and the expertise. Okay? So your selection can be based on some of these attributes: the education, the areas of interest, the specialization that is related to your objective. What do you want to be mentored in? Also, very important, all what I'm going to mention, you see, education was at the top, but all the rest of the list depends on actually what we call soft skills. If that person cannot communicate clearly or effectively with you, it's not going to work. If that person cannot be a leader, because that is a leadership role that that person is assuming, you cannot really, it cannot help you to define and your goals. Also, the personality, the professionalism, both of you have the same values, you know, agree on these important things. And also, what type of mentoring relationship do you want? Maybe you are the type of person you prefer to have face-to-face, and that person cannot do that. They don't have time. That is going to actually spoil the whole thing. Also, time commitment, as I mentioned, time is really important. You agree face-to-face, or you agree on Zoom, or you agree on Skype, or you agree on Teams, or you agree on a phone, or you agree on emails. It depends. Both of you have to be on the same page, as they say, or the same wavelength. So the lady who was talking with me was talking about setting mentoring programs. There are some examples that I'm going to show you now, and it also goes through a process, certain steps that you can go through. So the first one is that you need to define what is the purpose, what is the goal. If you do not have that written clearly from the beginning, how can you build? It's exactly like when you're building a house. How many layers do you have? How many floors? That depends on the foundation, how deep you are going to dig in order to erect it. If you don't have a purpose, if you cannot define your goal, where are you going, where are you heading? You cannot go anywhere. Then you start designing the mentoring program. As I mentioned to you, the planning, you plan, you write the blueprint, you design it. What is the frame going to look like? And then you start recruiting and onboarding your mentors and your mentees. And then you start matching them together. And then afterwards, you need to double check all the time, keep the momentum, or what's happening, you know, in the middle. And then at the end, you measure the success and the return on your investment. So this is an example of an organization to build a successful mentoring. As you can see, some people like it like we previously, steps like that. Other people are visual. I believe that all of you know that we have different styles of learning, of retaining information. Some people like schedules, tables, figures, paragraphs. So as you can see, you design your program. Some people start with designing, then you're attracting participants, then you connect the mentors and mentees, you guide them through their journey, and then at the end you measure the success. Another example also is for a corporate mentoring program in order to train them, mentor them for entrepreneurial skills. And they only have 4 phases. So the first one, it took them how many months? 1 to 2 months. And they even divide it, and you can write, you can decide how many months is going to take in each and every phase. So as you can see, different examples in front of you, that whatever fits with you, you can actually choose from. There is no one size that fits all. There is what works for you and what you feel comfortable with, okay? So you also, when you are setting this mentoring program, it's extremely important that, as I mentioned to you, when that first initial step to write your objective. What is the objective of your program? So for example, you are an organization and you come and say, I would like to have retention, I have to engagement and empowerment. I want my employees not to stay every 2-3 months and you have a high turnover. You want to keep them, you want to engage them, you want to empower them. Or if you are an educator in your classroom with your students, with your learners, wherever you are, you say, I want to have high retention and engagement and empowerment. I'm going to support them and the word are high performance, okay? So you can have succession planning, creation of talent pool, for example, development of professional relationships, create culture of continuous learning, individual development, knowledge transfer, create growth and development, cultivate individual career planning ownerships, a mentor to gain better perspective of individual or organizational issues. You need to think of what is the goal, what's the objective of your mentoring program, and you write it to see where is it that is needed. I would like you please to get a paper and pen and take a snapshot of that for this activity, because you need, and see, it starts with the word reflect. And when we reflect, we need to dig deep in ourselves. We need to go back and think deeply about things on your workplace and decide on a mentoring program, a program that you think you will benefit from. It's relevant to the needs of your specific industry, whatever industry you're in, and draw a draft or this mentoring program following the steps that are discussed previously with you. So, for example, that is one example. There was another example, and that was the first example. So please remember that in each of those shells that you are going to be using, or phases or steps, you need to actually decide what's your objective. So you reflect first, think of what is it going to be, what is it for? What's this program for? And then you start building, writing your objective, and then what is the aim of that mentoring program? And then you can share it with your colleagues if you want. Okay, so now let's get more specific and look deeper, go deeper into that person that's called mentor. What does it mean? What does it stand for? A mentor is an individual who acts as an advisor or coach for a less experienced or advanced mentee, providing expertise and professional knowledge from a more experienced perspective. We established that from the beginning, right? So mentors protect the interests of the mentees. So you are there to serve. Remember that in your mind. You are there to serve, okay? The mentees often learn from this relationship, and mentors frequently benefit from acting as a trusted advisor. As I mentioned, it is a collaboration. It's like a marriage, a successful one. Both parties are benefiting, win-win. They learn from you. You also learn from them, because you are going to be moving and also mentoring somebody else in the future. So it is like a tattoo. It stays with you forever. It may be an invisible tattoo that nobody can see, but it will be deeply engraved inside you. Remember that. So that's an activity also for you, please. You can get your phone and take a snapshot of it. What characteristics do you possess that make you a good mentor or potential mentor? What benefits do you believe you will gain from a mentoring relationship? What do you expect to discuss, explore, and provide as a mentor? All those questions are extremely important that you ask yourself. If, you know, there is a saying, if you want change to happen, start by yourself. That's as simple as that. So if you really want to be successful as a mentor, ask yourself, what is it? What is the characteristic? What do you need to do to be that person? And that is why in the previous activities, I actually asked you about your previous experiences. And I was grateful for the colleague who actually answered and gave us his example when he was mentored. So we learn both ways. We learn from our direct experiences, from other people's experiences. So when you see how this person treated you, what are the qualities, what are the good characteristics that you've seen this mentor do with you, you want to emulate it. You also want to do it with others. Think about these things, okay? And that will help you for your future journey and trip as a mentor. So these are some examples and options when you're looking at, when you are brainstorming and thinking, what are the career options and the preparations? How did you help people or in your own work? Or if there's technical issues or networking or how to maintain a balance work and life. Well, sometimes we know that there are certain things that we're not good at. And there are lots of life coaches out there and mentors, and they can give you little simple tricks. We all know, but sometimes it slips our mind. Like, for example, let me give you an example about myself. You know, with my students, I always feel that I always want to be there for them no matter what. Whenever they send an email or whenever they call, I had a group of students, sometimes they know that I am a night owl, I don't sleep early, and they can call me at 12 midnight and even after that. And I know if something happened like that, it's maybe urgent, it's important to them. And I used to actually say, I want to be there for them. I want always to be approachable by them. But then I was talking with another friend, and then she told me, Siam, that's not right. You need also to take care of yourself. You need to have boundaries. That is not right. There is no balance between work and life. So all the time thinking of work, 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 work. That is not healthy, to see. So we need to look at these things. If you have a mentor and maybe somebody from outside and you tell them that, they will attract your attention that a change needs to be made in your life if you want to have a work-life balance, okay? And that's important so that our battery will not be depleted and then we will not have more to give. And maybe if the person who really, really needs you, you're already exhausted because you've been dealing with somebody else and maybe that is not urgent or that is not important. So you need to be wise, you know? Yeah, so these are just some examples for you. Okay, so you would ask, and what are the qualities and the characteristics of a good mentor? While I'm going through them, I want you please to think and tick which ones you have right now, which ones you want to work at, which ones you would aspire to have. So for example, are you a patient listener? Do you have an eye for details, an eagle eye? Because these things are very important. You need to be sitting there and listening. also to your mentee when you are meeting each other at the beginning to see if you are on the same wavelength. We learn a lot by listening. Also, are you the kind of person who can inspire trust in others? Do you find people always coming to you and asking you for suggestions, help, confidential issues? Do you give advice without dictating actions? Like you suggest things? It depends also how you say it, the tone you say it, when you say it, things like that. Do you encourage independence, yet you make that other person feel that they are being supported? Are you the kind of person who is capable of providing constructive feedback and sugarcoating it with compliments? Remember that lots of people say is that this is an art in itself. It doesn't matter, it depends. It's not what you said, it's how you said it, you know? Also, are you being open and honest, but also being polite and not rude? You don't hurt people's feelings. That's also an art. And all of these things, if you notice, they are soft skills and they are to do with your communication skills and how you actually give attention to understanding people. Are you a good role model through actions and words? Which means, do you practice what you're preaching? When you promise to do something, do you really do it? So all these things, look up those qualities. Which ones do you have? Which ones you want to work on to perfect? Think about it. So, next, okay. So, what makes a good mentor also is that you need to look at these things. This is when you are interacting, when you're having some interaction with people, are you interested in making others succeed? Because that also has to come deep from you, which means you are selfless. I'm sure that all of you heard the different styles of leadership. And for example, the servant leader. The servant leader is one of the examples of that leader who builds, serves others to help them grow and become leaders. So are you interested in others to succeed? Are you reliable, honest, trustworthy, confidential, capable of active listening, empathetic, understanding, able to question someone sensitively and also empower them? Do you have the knowledge in that field? Can you encourage people? Can you help? I mean, all these things are very important. See, how many did you take? Okay. So these are tips also for the mentee. It takes two to tango. It's exactly like the field of leadership. We talk about the leaders, we talk about the followers also. So also in mentoring, there is a role for the mentor and there is a role for the mentee. So sometimes you'd have a mentee and it doesn't work because the mentee did not do their part too. So the mentee also need to help in order to have a positive relationship. So establish your expectations from the beginning, which is the start, the step, the first phase when you are building this relationship, when you are meeting, when you are having your formal agreement. You have to be clear from the beginning and say, what is your aim? What do you prefer? What do they want? Do you want it face-to-face? How would you like the communication? You have to be very honest, very clear, and put the boundaries and the framework from the beginning. Oh, okay, listen first, then respond. See, listening also is extremely important. So it's very important for you that you would be clear from the beginning and you build your relationship and show commitment. You don't want the mentor to feel you're wasting their time, right? Right. Also provide opportunities. So a good mentor needs to provide resources, put the mentee with opportunities that they will meet other in order to help them in their future to network and also get to know them very well. What is their aspirations? What are their needs? What do they want to reach in order to help them reach there? Okay. Now, in relation to the mentorship, you need to develop the following. You be engaged and show interest. So as you want your mentor to be listening for you, to be accommodating you, to be available for you, you also as a mentee, you need to show interest in what they are telling you. They can give you suggestions. Don't be rude, take the suggestions. You may follow it or you may not follow it, but at least you are showing interest so that they don't feel that you're wasting their time. Also be active in that relationship, value it, and show that you are actually working towards your professional development and your career goal by doing the effort. Practice taking advice and applying it. So when you're asking your mentor for an advice, and you want them to give you actually honest feedback in order to advance your professional work, you should actually work at it and show that you are identifying what is your point of strength, what are your points of weaknesses that you need to work on. Be respectful to your mentor times. As we mentioned that in this day and era, we're all busy. We all have lots of obligations. So please also show respect for your mentor's time. It goes both ways. Sorry. I don't know how to stop it. Okay. Well, I managed. My apologies for that. Okay. So this activity, please, I would like you to take a snapshot of it, and you can do it later on, which is I want you to reflect and to think back on a relationship that you had with someone who helped you develop. This could be a teacher, a boss, a family member, a colleague, a spouse, any other person in your life, in whatever relationship you had, and whether it's formal or informal, in a personal capacity or on your career. It doesn't matter if you ever called that person also a mentor or not. Sometimes we meet those people. We didn't call them mentors, but choose, please. I want you to choose first a positive experience. So for the first person who comes to your mind, and then I want you to write phrases about answering those questions. How your relationship began. You see, I was talking to you a lot about the objectives, the beginning, the first meeting, because what we are trying to do, the objective of this activity is that you are going deeper and analyzing and actually reflecting and learning from what you've been through, so that you see why was it successful? What were the factors that contributed to it? So you cannot tell that and know that until you go through it and look, how did it start, okay? And what you specifically gained from that person, if you consider it a successful one, and what the person, that mentor, got out of your relationship. In your opinion, what do you think? You see what I mean? So you are going deeper and thinking about it and analyzing it to see what are the benefits that were gained. And then why did you consider this a positive experience? Because remember, this is all a matter of perception. So you may think that experience is positive for you, but some other person, if they were in the same shoes like you, they may not think of it, but it's you. It depends on you, your perception. Why do you think it was a positive experience? And what does your learning suggest, okay, to any new partnership you are going to enter? Remember, we are in a journey here to analyze and learn what we've been through in order to add it and go and learn from it from our future next one. It's exactly like for us, if you are in the education field and you're having a classroom, you learn from it, you reflect on your experience, what you've gained, because you are going to incorporate it, the good things in your next class, and the not good things, you are going to work on it, improve it for your next class. If you are in a business, how your interaction happened in this deal with that client, why was it successful? And if it not succeeded, what are you going to gain out of it? So that in future, when the next client that comes, how are you going to deal with it? Okay. So it's very important that you please look at it. And the same thing, you can do it with not a good experience, not a positive one, a negative one. And you sit also and analyze it in your mind. Why do you think it did not work? First of all, how did it happen? How did it start? You think you didn't learn from the person. Why? Why do you think you didn't learn? What are the factors? What were the steps? What were the issues that contributed to you saying that about that experience? Very important that we sit and reflect and write down our thoughts, our reflections, in order that we learn from them and improve on them. So in the next time, we do better. Okay. Now, I want you please to think about that quote. And the quote says, sometimes when I considered what tremendous consequences come from little things, I am tempted to think there are no little things. Let's read it again. Sometimes when I considered what tremendous consequences come from little things, I am tempted to think there are no little things. So in this activity, please, I want you to think for a minute about this quote in connection with your mentoring relationships and answer the following. What are the little things you can do to show understanding of and respect for your mentees' culture, values, and concerns? We are right now in this whole world living in a melting pot, and we come from different backgrounds and different cultures. And sometimes the little things, the little touches that we can do for other people to show them that we're empathetic, we're understanding to their culture, to their values, to their concerns. They can be little. You may think the little, but trust me, they go far. What are the little things you should avoid from doing to show understanding, respect for your mentees' culture, values, and concerns? And what are the tremendous consequences that can result from those little things? You know, I mean, let me give you a simple example. You walk into a restaurant, and in a positive experience, you would have this person who would be greeting you by the door with a big, huge smile, welcoming you warmly and telling you welcome and thank you for coming over, and helping you and seating you and things like that. Okay. You will feel, wow, I've been treated like a royalty. You would love the place. That person set you up to sit there and have a wonderful evening and a wonderful meal. Whatever happens after that, you're going to enjoy it. Versus if you walk into a place and nobody greets you, nobody asks you, cross-faced, you would stand there waiting for ages, very negligent of your presence. And then when they come afterwards and seat you, they don't even smile to you. I mean, the list goes on. What is the setting here? You're not going to enjoy your evening. You will feel being ignored. You are not treating well. It's very little, but the consequence of it is really tremendous. It's exactly like us. The first class, I meet my students every semester. It's extremely important, very important, how I welcome them, how I let them into the class, how we get interacting with each other. Very important, the little things that happen the first time we meet. Make them feel valued, make them feel appreciated, needed and wanted. Very important. Think about it. Think about it. Think about the saying. Sometimes when I considered what tremendous consequences come from little things, I am tempted to think there are no little things. Okay, guys, now this is the wrap up for the session. And I would like your final reflections that you need to get your paper and pen and write 3 things that you have learned from this session, and write down 3 things that you are intending to apply on your mentoring relationships. And how are you planning to apply that in your what you've learned from this session? While you are writing your notes, so that I would hear at least few of you, I would like to just tell you those quotes that I did like. Mentoring is a brain to pick. It's an ear to listen. It's a push in the right direction. And I hope that tonight I managed to pick your brain. I managed to tackle your ears to listen to me. And I hope that I gave you the right direction wherever you want to go. So think of it. If you want to harvest in 1 year, grow a crop. If you want a harvest in 10 years, grow trees. If you want to harvest that will last a lifetime, grow people. I hope that you grow and we all grow with each other. And I wish you a wonderful start for 2023. Anybody would like to share the 3 things they learned, the 3 things they want to incorporate before we end this session? We have still few minutes. So who would like to share? Are you still there, or oh, I lost you? Nobody. Okay. Very interesting.
Thank you so much for sharing. Very important, very interesting. Oh my God, so excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have 2 hands up. I have 2 hands. Would like, yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead. Yes, you unmute yourself, please, so that we can hear you. You are still muted. We can't hear you. I can see your hand up, but we can't hear you.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Yes.
So far I've learned to be very patient with my mentees. You know, it takes patience to, for them to be able to open up completely on whatever challenges they're having. And number 2, to do follow-up. I learned that I must be able to follow up on them, not really, giving them a word of advice, then backing out. I need to do more. I need to follow up, and I need to be very patient with them. Thank you so much. I really appreciate these 2 points that I need to work and apply in my future work with my mentees. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that you enjoy it when you are doing your program, and the outcome would be whatever you desire. Thank you. There is another hand up called iPhone. There's another hand up. Okay. I would like to thank the people in the chat who have been sending their comments. Thank you very much. Obviously, I'm not sure what's happening with your internet, that you are not talking, but if somebody wants to talk other than the chat, they are welcomed. If not, I don't know, then I will hand over to Dr. Inga.
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Vasudev Balani sir would like to speak, I think.
Yes,
Yes, sir, please say.
Yeah, it was a lovable session.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Seham.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
Secondly, the learning was you should be empathetic, a good listener,
Yeah.
a good observer.
Yeah.
We need to have a magnetic field or a magnetic circle with mentee.
Yeah.
Everlasting relations are going to happen tomorrow if the mentee is thoroughly satisfied with their ideas, concepts, and principles. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you for actually participating. I'm having lots of people who are shy and they are just writing. There is, I think, a Bella. Bella is writing on the chat and saying 3 things that were important for me from this session. Number 1, who is a mentor and what should he be like? Number 2, how to plan meetings, what to consider before, during, and after the meeting. Number 3, how to pay attention to the little things and how to turn it into huge results. I will use the gained experience in dealing with colleagues. I will take into account each recommendation. I think my mentorship will be positive and effective. Bella, of course, your mentorship. Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way. Of course, it is going to be positive and effective. Thank you very much for sharing. And I urge you all, those activities are really important. It helps you to reflect and it always helps us to progress and develop our skills. Thank you.
Thank you
Well
for
done. Well done, Prof. Dr. Silham. Good start. Good start for the session.
My friend is here.
Yeah. I'm here to give you support and to also
Thank
also
you.
get the participants to get used to me because I'll be with all you guys tomorrow.
Yes. Let me just introduce. We have Professor Khairuddin, who will be our trainer for the day 2. Thank you for being here, sir, and thank you for being supportive. And Dr. Seham, indeed a superb training session. Thank you so much. Very well elaborated PPT. And thank you all for being here for the day 1. Thank you, IIU. Thank you for being here. And I think with your permission, Dr. Seham, then shall we end the session?
Yes, please. Yes. If there's everybody is okay, I'm okay. I'm really grateful. And I wish you all the best, everybody. It's always wonderful and great to be with you. God bless you all. Enjoy the next 2 days.
Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Mr.
See you.
Basu.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you
Bella,
so
everyone.
much. Great job, really. Thank you so much, dear Snitka, for everything. Join us tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Welcome. Great.
Thanks. All the best.
All the
Bye.
best. Bye.
Bye.